All right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here at Alta Realty Group. And today we're going to talk about content planning for our social media. It's something that we can't just kind of do willy-nilly. We got to have a plan. So we're going to talk about some really specific things that we can do and tools that can help us and ideas on how we can just get this stuff done. So before we get into today's presentation, we are going to bring Bill Seitz, our corporate broker, on the line. Bill, good morning. How are you today?
Hey, good morning, Kevin. Good to be back after a couple weeks off.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Bill and I have been producing the broker tips every Tuesday. So, Bill, I don't know if you want to get into anything first, but we are going to be going over our broker tip today.
Yeah, I just hope everybody's enjoying those little tidbits, reminders, industry advice, protocol, what have you. It's always good to be reminded about stuff, especially in our industry where we have to really do things very, well. We have to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. And a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the TDS and the transfer disclosure statement. And as we know, in disclosing items to our customers and our clients, that is the backbone of any transaction disclosure. So it's really important to remind yourself and your clients to fill that out as complete as possible. Do not leave anything out. Do not leave any questions unmarked. If there's an addition that's not permitted, make sure you add all that stuff in there so that will avoid any future issues down the road and keep you out of any mediation, arbitration, or something worse. We also talked about the AVID, agent visual inspection disclosure, and that's super important as well. That should be done right away. If you're a listing agent, make sure you get that done upon your listing appointment or within the first couple of days. And that's important to have inside of the disclosure package, so you're not doing this at the end and chasing it down. The disclosure packet's already gone out, and now you have to send this back to your clients. One, it's kind of annoying for someone to have to go back and sign something again when it all should be done. And number two, make sure that that disclosure is filled out as well. You do have a reasonable responsibility to fill that out and to note things. I know that if I, walk in the exterior of a property and I see something in the fascia board, termite damage, wood rot, all these little things should be noted. You're not necessarily trying to kill the deal. Of course, you're not doing that, but you are. If that ever comes up in a mediation, arbitration, any issue with the attorneys, they are going to come back to that and ask the agent, well, how come this wasn't noted? Why is this? This could have been avoided potentially if you had noted this. And everyone had, all parties were aware of it. So you just want to be super mindful of that. What else? We also sent out a little marketing piece about disclosure requirements for your license and your marketing and your material that you're using, whether it's print, signage. So that's a good read. That came out, what was it, Kevin, this last Tuesday?
That's right. And I really appreciate you finding that one, because I get those questions every week. So it's great to just have that on file and be able to just send that out. So that was awesome.
Yep. And so, yeah, just I think if everyone takes a few minutes just to read those every Tuesday, we'll review them as they come in. But just stuff to keep, kind of keep fresh in your mind as we, perform the industry of real estate and the activities of real estate. We just need to be very, very clean about that, because, complaints are on the rise. People are more likely to find issue or fault or whatever, and keep our noses clean. We'll be a lot better for it.
That's for sure.
And then, Kev, real quick, before we get into Debbie's update, I just want to thank agents Ann Harris, Jeff Brown, Trisha Castanedas, Karen Ross, David Hennigan, Andrew Brown, Joanne Casillas, and I'm sure there's several others, but those recently have closed escrow transactions with Raquel Bauer at Legacy Escrow. So really appreciate you guys supporting Legacy Escrow. Appreciate you guys, utilizing that in-house service. It's just something that really is a win-win for everybody. Allows us to keep our cost structure down, and it allows the company to be profitable. We're in an industry that's in a little bit of a tough time right now with interest rates, but everything is great if we can all work together and continue to do that. So I also want to thank Tom Fesky for using Debbie Ciccone at Clearview Mortgage and closing a transaction here about a week or so ago. So thank you guys.
Also, Ken Nodelman, a big deal. He just closed, I think, $4 million property. That was awesome. And he used Legacy, or is in the process of using Legacy, right?
Yep, that one's set to close next week. So yeah, congratulations, Ken. And
all cash offer, you can't beat that, right?
Hey, we will take those.
Cool. And also, just real quick, Bill, just also, here's on your screen is these are the the loyalty points and the loyalty program. Again, this system is not yet automated, so we do update this about twice a month. So if you do see something that's off on your point total, don't be afraid to just give us a little bug and just make sure that we do have that on there. But so again, you guys are earning points, loyalty points, for using our ancillary services, Clearview Mortgage, Legacy Escrow, and CVM.
That's right. Yeah, thanks for that reminder, Kevin. What better way to save a few dollars, buy down your transactional fee, or any of the other benefits that are available to you. So yeah, great reminder. Thank you.
For sure. All right, great. Well, yeah, Bill, anything else? Oops, you're muted.
Sorry about that. As we segue into Debbie's presentation, I just want to let everyone know that the market's been a little volatile, just especially as we know it's what's going on in the geopolitical world with all the stuff in the Middle East. It's just absolutely just crazy. The rates have come down a little bit in the last few days, and I think the markets are reacting to all that geopolitical mess over there. So it's probably going to get pretty volatile here as things continue to develop over there. But that's what we want to do here, is find solutions for you guys, keep you apprised of what's happening every week. And the 10 years down to about the end of September, where it was at the end of September. So there's been a little bit of a pullback in interest rates, which is good news. And I think Debbie's going to do a really good quick little presentation on the buy down rates. What does it look like for long-term buy down versus a short-term buy down? So I'll let her come on board here. And yep, you can see there the rates have come off their highs there at the end of September. But let Debbie do her thing, and Kev, I'll talk to you on the backside of it.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. And Miss Debbie Ciccone, good morning. How are you today?
I am fantastic as usual. Thank you very much. Well, I hope everyone is doing really great. And I'll tell you what, in this type of market, you got to really get out of your head and keep wake up every morning and think of all the things you're thankful and grateful for, because it'll put you in a dang good mood for the rest of the day. And people can hear it on the phone. Like if I was in a bad mood, you'd probably know it even being on the phone. So anyway, I did get a lot of calls from you guys, and thank you so much. I did get a lot of questions about the buy down, and it's still slightly confusing. So I'm going to show you just a couple of quick things. First, I'm going to tell you the difference between a temporary buy down versus a permanent buy down. Obviously, temporary in the name means that the lowest rate that you can get is not going to stay that way forever. All right. Also, the lowest rate that you can get is not the rate that the borrower can qualify at. So I'm going to show you a quick worksheet that we work off of. Let's see. Do you need to share the screen with me? Oh, I have to share it with you guys. Yes, okay.
There you go.
So let's see. Where did I put it now? I think it was here, and temporary buy down. Okay, can you guys see this buy down worksheet?
Yes, Debbie.
It shows, huh?
I said yes.
Okay, so the first example I'm going to give, just to show you the differences, is let's say we have $1 million purchase price and $800,000 loan amount. I'm going to shrink this a little bit so you can see everything. And so when we're doing a temporary buy down, we have to price it that way. And I'm going to also show you how we do that, so you could see what we're kind of doing behind the scenes here. But the actual interest rate for this is 8%. And by the way, I'm only pricing it with one particular lender right this morning, okay? But when we get a loan in, I price it with every lender that I can, based on how I'm going to structure that loan or what that person is qualified for. Obviously, if they're doing a 12-month bank statement program or a P&L statement program, I'm going to, not use this calculator. But so the interest rate today for the buy down it's 8%. What that means is, for example, let's scroll down on a 2-1 buy down. The first year is going to be 6%. And this is the principal and interest payment right here, based on an $800,000 loan amount. Okay, so the first year is 6%, second year is 7%. Now the buy down cost is the savings between these two for the first year, second year, and this is the total cost. If you can see this $19,000, that would be the total cost for the seller to pay. Now we do have buyer paid buy downs available, but the rates are pretty high. So it's just a little bit different. But if you can get the seller to cover $19,000 to allow the buyer to have an interest rate the first year, at 6%, second year at 7%, and then the third through the 30th year, it'll be 8%. And this is right here, the principal and interest payment at 8%. So if you're able to get the seller to cover $36,000, then you can do a 3-2-1 buy down, where the rate starts at 5% the first year, 6% the second year, 7% the third year, and then 8% the fourth through the 30th year. Again, they have to qualify at 8% interest rate, but for $36,000 based on this scenario, the buyer gets to have 5% the first year. So now I think Kevin's going to show my email address and my phone number. If you want a worksheet like this on a particular purchase price and loan amount, let me know and I will send this to you. Okay, it's easy for me to do that.
And Debbie, I just want to just put something in there. This vehicle does a lot of things. One, let's just say your client, they make good money and they qualify fine, but maybe they're renting, maybe they have a $3,800 rent payment. This program allows them to ease into that higher rate too, because you look at the year one, it's at $4,294 for the first 12 months. The next 12 months, it's $4,796, and then it goes to $53, and then it goes up to the fully amortized rate at the 30-year loan. It allows them to gradually ease into the payment, right? And if they get the chance to refinance, they get to refinance through this process, and they never even hit the 8%, which a lot of industry people will think we will start trending back down next year. So it does serve a purpose. One, for the seller. Seller can, has more flexibility with buyers if they're willing to participate in the buy down. And number two, the buyers get a chance to ease their way into this process of home ownership if they're not used to maybe paying that much, or they're payment sensitive. So just something to be mindful of why it works and why it's a really good tool. And I'm really appreciative for Debbie to show this, because I think it is a visual thing that it's hard to talk about buy down and the stuff that we look at in the financial side of things, but to see it visually, you kind of get a better grasp of it.
Yeah, and do go back and watch the replay, guys. And because this stuff is, it maybe does take 1 or 2 times to take a look at it and to really understand it. So I encourage you guys to always, check out the replays, and the replays are great because you can fast forward through stuff. You can rewind. So utilize that as a resource, please.
Yeah, and if you want it personalized, please do call me. I'm going to just show you a difference because Bill wanted me to show you the difference between, this is based on $1 million purchase price and a loan amount of 800,000. I'm just by changing this, let's say to 500,000 for some of you in lower cost areas. Okay, for the purchase price and loan amount is 400,000. Okay, this can be changed anyway. Of course, we're going to put a rate that will, and I already looked up rates this morning. So I'm going to change the rate as well. So as you can see, when I change the purchase price and the rate, the buy down cost becomes way different. Okay, so this is a seller paid buy down. This is just, maybe asking the seller to give a concession to help that buyer. A lot of buyers are on the fence. They're like, I don't know, rates are kind of high right now. I'm going to show you one other quick thing before I get off. This is based on the temporary buy down, but I'm going to show you something different that is, I think, very cool too. A lot of times people are coming to me and they simply cannot qualify. And in fact, I had a realtor call me yesterday and they said, these buyers just can't qualify. They can only qualify for 300,000 or 350. All right. So there's a way to also, I got to take a look at everything. Sometimes, maybe the other loan officer missed a few things. Okay. That's happened many times before, but I'm going to price out a loan really quick. Let's see. This is not the buy down. So this is what we see on our end, but I'm just going to explain it to you because the buyer or the seller can pay this buy down. This is a permanent buy down. So, and the buyer can qualify at the bought down rate. All right. So again, the seller or the buyer can pay for this. So this is based on a $500,000 sales price, $400,000 loan amount with 20% down. And as you can see, it's presenting me a jumbo loan program. The cost is $9,400. Let me get something at par here. So basically, this is the conventional conforming pricing. Now, in order for the buyer to not pay any origination points at all, okay, the interest rate is 7.831%, no points. Okay, no origination points. But if the buyer, or you can get the seller to cover, let's say $20,000, okay, right here, $19,188. The rate could be bought down more than 1%. What does this mean in the payment? This takes the payment from $28.88 to $24.95. This is principal and interest only. But what I'm trying to say is that it's almost a $400 difference. That could mean the difference of your buyer going from $350,000 to $500,000. So let us take a look at this, and, I've had clients come to me and technically, they only qualify to, 400,000, and there's no homes for 400,000 in a lot of areas. But I think, okay, well, the house that they're interested in is 500,000. What interest rate does it have to be to get them to qualify? And amazingly enough, almost 100% of the time, when I tell the realtor, hey, they only qualify to 400,000 right here, but if you can get the seller to pay $15,000 in origination fees to buy the rate down, they could go up to 500,000. If the phone had like a television screen on it, I said television, like that's, they are going to have a smile on their face because now they have a deal, and no deal is the alternative but I just gave them an avenue to get that buyer into that $500,000 house that they want. All they have to do is find a willing seller. And if you have to bump up the price a little bit to, get the seller to cover the origination fees, try that. So anyway, that's my little spiel today. Sorry it took so long, but if you want to see details on anything, please give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, whatever. If you want me to send you the buy down worksheet based on your scenario, I do need a credit score. I need a purchase price. I need a down payment percentage. So I'm not a mind reader. I can't just figure what that's going to be. But, I hope you guys all are prosperous out there and succeed and with a smile on your face. Have a good time.
All right. Thanks, Debbie. That's such a
Kevin.
cool... Yeah, go
real
ahead.
Quick. Thank you so much, Debbie. That was like you said, Kevin, it's probably good to rewatch that 10 minutes because it's that important.
Yeah.
One thing to note, the permanent buy down is a little bit different because you qualify on that buy down rate because that is a 30-year fixed rate where that's the permanent buy down. The temporary buy down, you qualify at the rate at the third year. So I want to make sure that's super clear on that. And also that buy down worksheet is a great open house tool. While you don't know everybody's profile that comes into the open house, if you reach out to Debbie, I know she'd be more than happy to give you an open house flyer with a buy down scenario, and she probably will have it with a fairly high credit profile of a borrower, but at least gives people an idea of what is available to them in the financing department. So it's a great open house tool.
Oh man.
And one last thing I want to add to Bill's thing. Speaking of flyers, I can make flyers of all different types. So depending on what your listing is, I also have listreports.com, which makes an extensive flyer package for your listing or your open house. So let me know if you need any flyers for your listings. And the buy down tool, I can make a flyer from that. It's awesome.
Perfecto. Super, super important stuff, Debbie. Really, really appreciate that. And appreciate your insights as well, Bill. All right, cool. So now we're going to do, I know it took a little while, but we are going to get to our feature presentation, which is the social media content calendar. We don't have to take up that much time on this, but this is so important. And just being able to create that plan, I think in most cases is winning the battle right there. A lot of people, we know real estate, we know connections with people, we know, we have great interpersonal skills, but social media is a giant mystery and, it's not part of our, our bailiwick, right? So social media can be distilled very, very simply. First of all, there's tools that we can use. The very first tool is the Elevate automated blog posts. So remember on program 2 and 3, the Elevate system allows us to automate blog posts to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, YouTube, and Instagram. So that's a great way to automate some of our posts. Now, if you want to be a real rock star and you want to really stand out, you're going to also want to augment that with additional things that you're going to post to your social media. So a great way to do that is to use additional tools, Canva being one of them. Canva has the ability to schedule things to our social media. So a great rule of thumb or a great way to operate is to, the first part of the month, just pick a day, always put it on your calendar, and that's your social media content calendar planning day. So you're on that day, you're going to go into Canva, you're going to create your social media posts, and you're going to schedule them out for the month. Some people like to do this once a week. Some people like to do it once a month. I think if you're going to do it more than, if you're going to try to schedule it for like a quarter, that's quite a bit of work. And I suggest bringing that back down. So when you're blocking out your time, it's not like this massive, like all day event. If you're going to do this once a month, you can really get all this done in an hour. I mean, it depends, of course. Some people are perfectionists and they like to take 2, 3, 4 hours. My wife is one of those people, so totally get it. But you can knock this out in an hour. And so building a calendar is super easy if you have the right ideas. So here's just one example of how you can structure your social media posting. So at ARG, we like to do Mondays are for motivation, right? So every Monday we have our motivational tip. Right now we're doing, famous quotes. We'll probably go into something else, over the years, but we're sticking to Mondays, our motivational Mondays. And so now you guys are expecting to see that come out in our social media and in our emails. Tuesdays are for Tuesday tips, right? Same thing. We're doing our broker Tuesday tip. And so for us, that's, tips for real estate agents. For you guys, that could be tips for homeowners, tips for buyers, tips for, pretty much anything. And a great way to structure that is to ask yourself, what kind of questions am I constantly asked by my clients? Make a list of them and then start firing those off in your Tuesday tips. So that's a super easy thing to do. And again, if we're just planning this stuff, it takes the guesswork out and we're not scared of it. So if you're going to go ahead and just plan it out and know what you're doing, you've got a plan, you've got action items, and you can just nail it out, get it done. Wednesdays could be for Hump Day Heroes. So you could highlight somebody within your, I always talk about, creating your business network and, utilizing ancillary services, things like Clearview Mortgage and Debbie Saccone over there and Raquel Bauer at Legacy Escrow. You could do a post on Wednesdays that say, hey, I'd like to thank Debbie Saccone from Clearview Mortgage for creating such a smooth transaction for my clients. She did this, this, and that, right? Or you could say, thanks so much to, Frank's Construction for coming in and really making a difference in, my client's home. She had a bunch of things that she had to fix. They came in, they knocked it out. The place is incredible. So you could use Wednesdays as just a little shout out. And those are really fun. People, it's perfect for social media, right? And then you're doing two things there. Of course, you're also promoting your business network. And then you need to tell your business network and tag them in your social media and let them know that, hey, you got to do the same thing for me, guy, right? So it's a two-way street there. Thursdays could be testimonial Thursdays, right? You could do a little testimonial post from, either you thanking someone or you posting a testimonial of somebody, that had some kind words to say about you. Fridays could be Friday's favorites, right? So Friday favorites, maybe you could say that here's a list of some favorite movies, or here's a list of a few of my favorite restaurants in an area, or here's a few my favorite places to visit. Even it could be literally anything, guys, but just some kind of a favorite that you could post could be what you do on Fridays. Then Saturdays could be Saturday spotlights. So you could spotlight, same thing. You could spotlight a an event. Maybe it's a charity event. Maybe it's a local screening, or maybe it's a local theater production. You could do some kind of a spotlight, and that's perfect for weekends because people are normally out there doing whatever they do on their weekends. And so you could spotlight one of those little things that people might be doing in their community. And then Sundays could be Sunday Gratitude Sunday, right? You could say you're thankful for something. You're thankful for this, thankful for that. It's just a nice way, and Sundays are a good day to just remember that you're thankful for whatever it is that you are thankful for, and whatever it is that is positive in your life. So Sundays, post something that is very, very nice and positive, and something that you're reflecting on. And then other people can kind of take that, and they could maybe really relate to that, or it would resonate with them. So a really good way to stand out with social media. So real quick, what time of the day should you post? So here's just some real quick stats. Facebook, they say between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. on weekdays. Instagram, 8 a.m., 12 p.m. or 4 to 5 p.m. Twitter between 6 and 9 a.m. and LinkedIn between 8 and 11 a.m. on weekdays. So that is what the, I guess it was Hootsuite that analyzed about 30,000 social media posts and, what kind of engagement they got. So there's your little, kind of when you should be posting these things. And again, we're going to schedule them so we can schedule them to go out in, in these time slots. And then we can, of course, go back and check that out ourselves and, gauge that ourselves and say, oh, you know what, my posts actually do a little bit better at this specific time. So really, really easy for us now to create a content calendar, schedule it out. Like I said, schedule it out at least a week in advance or a month. That way you already have, you know exactly when you're doing that. You're not guessing when you're doing it because it's already part of your schedule, right? And then obviously, once you get that done, there might be some things that you want to post in just off the cuff, right? You might be checking out a new, home. You might be on a broker tour, and you might see some amazing kitchen or some really cool, bathroom with some great features or whatever it happens to be. Why not do a little quick video of that and do a little quick post of that? So that would be kind of your fill in the gaps style post. So that is all I wanted to go over. I just wanted to make sure that everybody, I try to do this webinar at least twice a year because it's so important for us to just remember, oh yeah, I have to just, create time and block time out to take care of these little bits, because if you're consistent with this stuff, we all know that it does pay off. And so the people that are consistent, they've seen how this increases their visibility in their community, increases their visibility within their sphere of influence. And that is what gets us repeat business. It's the reminders. So, Bill, any quick takeaways from today's social media content calendar webinar?
You know me, my brain constantly turns through these marketing things because content is king. And that is a fact. And so if you are putting out good content, you will keep your audience and grow your audience, and they will come to expect these things, and they'll be looking for your stuff. And so it's super important to think through all these, how you want to personalize it, but also bring informative, awesome content to your audience. And like Kevin said, it's a way of touching people very simply through the digital world. It's not door knocking. Maybe some people like to door knock and do that. There's nothing against that. That's a great way to do it. But some people maybe aren't comfortable, and maybe they want to focus on social media. There's a massive amount of people out on social media that you can touch in your local community. And if you're putting out good content, they will be there and you will find them.
Yeah, and then you're just basically staying top of mind, which is just, I think, our theme with almost all of our webinars, staying top of mind, because we all know that nobody cares about realtors until they need one. And so you just have to be that squeaky little person that is over there, and sometimes being funny maybe, and just providing some you know what it is? It's a drum beat, right, Bill? It's just a constant drum beat.
Yeah, and have fun with it. It doesn't have to be, super serious at all times. You can maybe have a little comedy thing or something that's going to make people laugh. That's the content, the diverse content that people will come to expect to see and keep following you.
Yeah, and even sharing other people's stuff, you find something funny, share it on your feed. It's just all of those little things, create that giant net, so if you're really doing all this stuff, you're going to be successful with referrals and with, people noticing you.
100%. Great reminders, Kevin. Next week, I want to let everyone know we're going to have DJ Bibb with Fidelity Title come on. He's going to do a nice presentation on some title issues. And so I hope everybody will tune in for that. That'll be a great webinar. and Kevin will have another marketing topic, but really excited to have DJ on. I think everybody will really appreciate bringing to the world of title.
Absolutely. All right, agents, with that, I hope you guys get out there and making a great week and a productive week. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys next week on the Wednesday webinar. Bye-bye.